Hi, it's Kevin Lobates here, and today I wanted to talk a bit about immutability, or things where you can be sure that they haven't been tampered with or changed. Now, this is particularly important in things like accounting or law or in contracts, because you don't want people to go away after the fact and fiddle the numbers or change the terms and conditions. So immutability is actually quite important to us, and anybody who's read Ozymandias by the poet Shelley will know that ultimately nothing is immutable. Things don't last forever, but we can have a damn good go at making things more permanent and more secure in their persistence. So there are a number of different techniques, and without having to go into computer science or blockchain, for example, one way is to make sure that the information that you want to ensure is not changed is on public display. You know, carve it into the front of a temple or something like that. The second thing you can do to ensure that people don't change stuff is to put a lot of work into making it. Again, carving into stone is a lot of work, and I'm thinking also about those beautiful illuminated manuscripts that they used to manufacture in the Middle Ages. Then third thing that you can do is make sure you have many copies in different places. You know, take your sacred book and put a copy in every library, in every monastery, in every church. Then you've got a lot of different copies to compare, and if one of them is altered, the others will still reflect the view of the truth, as it were. And in computer science, there's a final thing you can do, which is checksums, where you take the message that you want to preserve and you digest it down into a number that only that original text could have produced, and this is called a hash of the message, and I've talked about them in earlier videos. Of course, the problem you have there is that if you can tamper with the original message and with the hash, then you can make a change and hide the fact that you've done that. And this is a problem we have with conventional databases, in that a suitably skilled administrator, if there is only one private database, can go in and change the data in the database and the record of the fact that the change has been made, thereby altering history. So if we now do move over to blockchain, you can see that all of those common techniques that I described for ensuring immutability are actually in place there. We have this peer-to-peer network that's in an open blockchain is public, so that's putting the information on public display. Because it's peer-to-peer and every node has a copy of the blockchain, you have the multiple copy case. Then the data is added through proof of work, so that's the effort that's put into the record, making it harder for other people to try and produce a false copy, because they would have to replicate all that work, and if you make it hard enough, that's impossible. And then finally, the checksum thing comes through the hashes and the linked list of the blockchain. And actually, surprisingly, I think that's probably the least important. It's more the public nature and the multiple copies that really ensure that the truth is maintained. But all of them are important, and therefore it's not surprising to see all those features in open public blockchains. So that's immutability for you. I hope that clarified a few things and that you found it interesting. Leave a comment below if you have anything to say, and please click like, because that boosts posts and then I get a bigger audience. But enough of me plugging my own feed. I hope you found this good, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.